Alright, so Kazuha released today, and I was very impressed with this character, with how he played, and his effectiveness. And while he was being early compared to Sucrose, which, both being a Nemo, both being focused around elemental mastery and providing that buff to the team, I think it is more fair to say that he is closer to Venti's level in terms of crowd control and usefulness on a team. He provides a lot of damage and a lot of crowd control. His ultimate does not have, or I'm sorry, he doesn't have the area that Venti's ult has for the suction on the ult when you use Kazuha's E, but it is easier to position as you just want to center yourself in the middle of all the enemies as Kazuha, use the E, then auto attack after. That plunge attack is really what does it, because it sucks all the enemies into a very tight area right in front of you. And unlike Venti, it puts enemies in a position for characters, all melee characters essentially, but like characters like Hu Tao, Diluc, anyone that can't consistently hit people in Venti's ult are going to be able to utilize Kazuha's CC because it puts them right at ground level, right in front of them. It is amazingly smooth to play as well, whether you use a press or hold. It's only got a 6-second on the press for the cooldown and a 9-second on the hold. And then the ultimate is a 15-second cooldown with a 60-second cost, which is very low, very good. I have him max Constellation. I would definitely say that Kazuha is free-to-play friendly, and low spender is probably his sweet spot. Constellation 2 is by far his best because it really helps him thrive at what he does best, which is the sub DPS, that support role. It gives him and anyone elemental mastery that's standing in his ultimate. These two, the 3 and the 5, are nice because they give the extra points to the E and the Q, which is extra bonus damage. Hooray! And then the C1 is alright. It gives the 10% cooldown, and it resets it whenever you use your ult. It resets the E whenever you use your ult. So then you go to the C4, which gives you 2 extra passives to help you get extra energy while ever you're below 45 out of the 60 energy needed to cast the ult, which is good, but definitely unnecessary. You don't even have to build a lot of energy recharge on Kazuha to be able to get this up very quickly, especially if you're using the ult frequently and doing swirl procs. Then the C6 kind of turns him into a more pseudo DPS, which is very cool, especially if you like him and this is just a character for you, then sure, go for it, but it doesn't provide a lot of damage where he's going to outperform any of the main DPSs right now. Anyone like Guan Yu or Hu Tao, I would even say Diluc, Klee, are better at C0 than Kazuha would be as a main DPS at C6. So again, while this is nice and the 4 is nice, it really isn't necessary. C2 is the absolute sweet spot if you feel like you really want to go for him, but even at C0, he has so much function for a team, having that same crowd control effect that Venti brings, and just having a lot of overall damage with the E. I think his best build path, especially for free-to-play or low spenders, is going to be going towards Elemental Mastery. I have him at C6, so I was messing around more with the damage setup. Definitely not optimized, terrible ratios here, and nothing crazy. But using the Blacksmith weapon, if you're a low or free-to-play player that gives Elemental Mastery, I think it's Iron Sting, that is going to be your best bet, because he's going to be able to utilize his talent that gives elemental damage bonus to whatever element he swirls, It's not all the elements in your party, it is just the element that he swirls as a bonus anytime that he does that. So building elemental mastery is beneficial in that term. It also gives him that elements bonus. So like say you did it with a C6 Bennett alt, and then you swirled right afterwards, and then you auto attack with Kazuha, you would technically have that pyro damage bonus from your elemental mastery and that talent there. Again, not that it's going to be like the best thing to ever do, but it is a niche situation that can occur. So just a quick overview, I think he is an amazing character, definitely very close to the Venti level, not a must pull, but very, very strong for any team comp, any situation, thrives in really multi-target situations, but can be very good for longer boss fights as well with the swirl and the ability to run the Venereer set, which reduces resistances. I think Elemental Mastery is your best overall build for him as you play him as a sub DPS. And I think he is extremely versatile where he can fit in almost any team comp. I don't think you could pick one best team comp for him because I think it's more going to be what situation you're in would be the best team comp for him at the time. So real quick, for anyone that hasn't got a chance to see him or know how he works, I will just do this ley line here and we'll call it from there. So as you see, we'll pop the ult, I guess, just to see the cooldown. So it just pulls everybody in. That auto attack after just keeps them very, very close together. And boom, they are dead after 2. We will wait for our cooldown to come up. And I won't even switch characters here. This would be good if they stay there. So boom, there's the range that you see. It's not as much as Venti's, but it pulls those enemies in from a very, very far distance. Provides amazing utility and just good overall damage. So that's it for this one. I am going to post a video when we get the reset for the Abyss where I set up a team for Kazuha as his C6 and kind of make him the main DPS and see how he does. So if you're interested for that, stay tuned. But other than that, just thanks for watching.